Well, hello, this is Mr. Perez, and I'm going to help you go through your scheduling process. So this video will take a little while to get through, but it's important that we go through all the steps. If you have any questions at any point in time during the scheduling process, please come and see me or see your counselor. Okay, so by now you have received an email, and with the email there are two important documents that are attached to it. So the first document, as you can see, is called the 2019-2020 Core Placement Sheet, and that is this document here. The second document is one that says how it describes the scheduling process. So that's going to be this link here. It does have in there a video that will help you explain the process. You're watching the video right now. So we're good to go with that. If you have any questions about courses, the best place to look and see what the course descriptions are is the curriculum guide, which can be found by clicking on that link. You'll also see where the course descriptions are for the various courses when we look at the electronic course scheduling sheet. So now we're looking at the second page of the scheduling for sophomore year information sheets. The first important point is how many credits you'll need for your sophomore year. So as it mentions here in two places, you'll need 7.5 credits to be a current sophomore. So we're going to look and see a moment ahead where you are in terms of your credits that you're projected for next year. The key thing is to get to that 7.5 credits. We ask you to read through everything carefully, watch this video, as most, if not all, of your questions will be answered in this document or through this video. Again, you can access the curriculum guide by clicking on the academics link, and it's there right below. There are two really important things to think about when you're selecting your courses. The first and most important question is, what do you want to do in college, or what do you want to do for a career? The courses that you take should be based upon your academic selections that are going to prepare you well for college, or that are going to prepare you well for your career. That ties you into the second thing is, are the classes you're going to take going to challenge you academically? Sure, it's tempting to look at a class and say that looks easy, but in reality what you need to be looking at is classes are going to challenge you to become the best version of yourself in terms of your academics. Courses are going to interest you and engage you and help you prepare for those standardized tests like the ACT or the SAT, as the best predictor for doing well on those tests is having rigorous academic work at the high school level. We also offer some virtual online courses through the Archdiocese of Chicago's Virtual Academy. That information is down below in these documents as well. And another key important point is to remember that all of us here at St. Patrick High School are here to do your very best. So if you have any questions, please speak with your teachers, your counselor, or any administrator, and we'll be happy to help you. So now we're going to jump back to the other attachment that's included in your email, and that is your pre-registration information. So you're going to see up above where it's been cut off on this document, and you'll have your name, it'll have your standardized test results here, and it's going to have the required courses for next year. So the way that we are structured is that we look at the college model. And in college, you're going to take most of your, what they call your core classes or your graduation requirements, typically in your freshman and sophomore years, so that you can get those out of the way so you can go into your classes for your major and your minor degrees later on in junior and senior year. The same thing happens in high school. A large number of your courses are going to be those that you need to have to graduate either from St. Patrick High School or from a high school in the state of Illinois. So things like everyone will take a year of English, everyone will take a year of geometry, everyone will take a year of chemistry, everyone has a year of religion that's divided into 2 semesters, one of Old Testament, one of New Testament. Everyone will have a semester of digital citizenship. That's a new course, which we'll talk about momentarily. Everyone has a fine art option. Everyone takes a semester of PE, and everyone has a semester of U.S. history. What might be different for students is this language. So you might be in a second year of a language, or you might have language arts too, just depending on how well you did in your language this year. So if you need the extra support in a reading class, that's what Language Arts 2 is going to help you with. This new digital citizenship class is going to be the replacement for Microsoft Office 2. You know, in years past, we've had a course called Microsoft Office Applications 2. We have now phased that class out of our curriculum, as most of that has been covered in your freshman year, and we're introducing a new course called Digital Citizenship. In that class, you're going to be learning some important communication skills in terms of how to write a proper email, how to create a cover letter for a job interview, how to write a resume. You're going to be using tools like the 3D printers in order to create objects, because 3D printing is going to become something that's common in many areas, not just in manufacturing, but in architecture and other areas where you have to create models and structures to help you visualize what you're going to be presenting to your client. So those two major concepts of the communications aspect as well as the 3D printing model will be taken up with this new digital citizenship class, and that's a required course for all of our sophomores. Most of you will therefore have, if not all of you, will have 7 projected credits. Remember, you need to get to 7.5 credits as a sophomore, so what you're looking to do is you're going to be looking for at least a half credit elective in order to make up that difference, and we're going to see how you can pick those momentarily. Again, here's the piece that describes where the curriculum guide is. If you have any questions on there, please talk to your parents, your counselors, and your teachers for any help. Notice that we do say that you're held accountable for your course selections because we will be making our teacher assignments based upon what students pick at this time. And so it's important that you pick the class that you really want to take as a sophomore. And you must carry a minimum of 7.5 credits for sophomore year. And your $250 registration fee will be due, and that'll be through your fax statement that'll be coming shortly. Okay, we've now gone back to the rest of the document that was the scheduling for sophomore year information sheet. So again, this is a recap of the required courses that you will have for next year. So again, that 1 credit of religious studies, that half credit of digital citizenship, a full year of English, half credit of fine arts, which we're going to come back to in a second here. 1 credit of math. For most students, it's going to be algebra, or in some cases, you'll have algebra 1. You have a half credit of physical education, a full credit of chemistry, a half credit of U.S. history that goes until the Civil War, and a full credit in the second year of a world language or language arts, and your half credit elective, which will show you how to pick. A couple of things to notice here. That 725 chemistry is a Phoenix level chemistry course. It does not have PX by it, but that number 725 signifies it as a Phoenix level chemistry course. We go back up here to this generic 300 course. Every freshman and sophomore will typically complete 1 credit in a fine art in order to graduate. Most freshmen will have the half credit in freshman year, leaving you with a half credit to take in sophomore year. As of now, we don't know what fine art credit you wish to take. So what we're doing is we're filling it with this generic course number to signify that you need to take a half credit of fine art. Now, if you've already taken a full credit of fine art, such as band or chorus or percussion, you don't need to worry about taking another half credit of a fine art unless you want to continue to take band, chorus, or percussion. We certainly encourage you to continue to do so, but at this point in time, if you've done your band, you've done your chorus, you've done your percussion, and you're no longer interested in pursuing any of that further, please let me know and I'll talk to you about what we can do with your schedule further from there. Some students, though, if they did not have the half credit of fine arts in the freshman year, will need it in their sophomore year and the other half credit in their junior year. For those students, right now they have the generic introductory fine arts course, which is numbered 318 on your schedule card. So if you have 318, that's the introductory course in fine arts, in which you'll have 6 weeks of art, 6 weeks of music, and 6 weeks of theater to get you situated in what each one of those courses covers, so you can make your choice for junior year. If you have a 300 course, you're going to pick a fine art from the list that we're going to see momentarily. Key important message in number 2. That placement for your English, geometry, chemistry, United States history, and world language classes for next year have been determined by your current teacher in those subject areas. So if you have a question about moving a level or making a level change, you need to speak to your current English teacher, and that's going to be down here, or your current teacher in that subject area, because he or she will know why he or she made that placement and how best to see if you can get into a level change for either next year or for the following year. So again, if you have questions about why you're in a particular level for next school year, please talk to your current teacher. You're welcome to come and talk to your counselor. You're welcome to come and talk to me in the office, but we're going to direct you back to your teacher to have that conversation about any level changes that you have questions about, because he or she will know the best reasons for that. So again, most of you will have this generic 300 fine art class, and you're going to pick that fill for that in your online course selection system. If you have 318, you do not need to make a fine art choice. You're okay with not selecting anything in those lists from there. These are our summer enrichment opportunities that we'll have available this coming summer. So we're offering 3 classes in the fine arts. We're offering 23-21 Arts and Ideas. Please note that this is a Phoenix level course. So this might be good for our Phoenix level learners this year to take if they want to take it in the summer. We offer 2322, which is visual design, and we offer 2345, introduction to ceramics. The schedule you can see is listed for each of the days there. You'll be able to see that most of them go from 7:45 to 11:30, or they might go from 11:45 to 3:30. We typically will meet on Mondays to Thursdays with no classes on Fridays. The only two, except for the first week, when you will meet the week after final exams to begin your classwork there. We're offering the Introduction to STEAM class, so if last year you weren't able to take STEAM 1 during the summer and you still want to pursue the STEAM credential, you can start to take that in this summer between freshman and sophomore year. You can see when that schedule meets. If you have any questions about that class, please see me or your counselor or Mr. Martin, who's our science department chairperson. For those students who took STEAM 1 last year and want to still continue in the STEAM track to get the STEAM credential for graduation, STEAM 2 will take place from Monday, July 8th through Thursday, August 1st from 7:45 to 11:20. That's a required course to take in order to continue in the STEAM track. We'll also be offering 2 sections of driver's education for the summer. You'll be registering for those online. You can see the dates and times right there in that page down below. So as it says here, as you notice that the registration for these classes will take place online. I will show you how to do that momentarily. So courses are marked by a single asterisk up above. That was the Arts and Ideas, the Principles of Visual Design, and the Introduction to Ceramics. Those will help you to fulfill your fine art credits. So that could take the place of that 300 that's on the course there. If you are in a Phoenix class right now and you have 318 on there, you can take 323 or 321, I'm sorry, in place of the 318 if you so wish to do so. If that's the case, come and talk to me and we can make that happen. Remember that you need to have 7 credits during the course of the academic year, so you can't take 2 fine art classes with the expectation of having 3 study halls next year. The most that you can have would be 1 study hall each semester. The courses that are marked by the double asterisks are those that are fulfilling our STEAM course, and you can see again the description for STEAM 1 and STEAM 2. Again, we want to highlight the importance of making your course selections wisely, because they should be based upon your high school, post-high school plans and the subjects for which you have an interest, not based upon who is teaching the class or what you think easy or difficult a class might be. Once the scheduling process closes, we'll start making our teacher assignments for next year, so we don't have a lot of flexibility once this is done. And if you have any questions, please see me or your counselor, and we'll be happy to help you. Okay, so right now we're looking at the different electives that we have available for sophomore year. Remember, your overall goal is to get to 7.5 credits for the year. Most of you, if not all of you, have 7 credits on there, which means you need to look for a half credit elective to get you to 7.5 for next year. So anything that says half credit or 1 semester, you can select that would fulfill that half credit, with the exception of these fine arts, because we're going to talk about that in a second. You can always take a 1 credit course, but if you take the 1 credit course, adds to your current 7 credits, that's going to take you to 8 credits, which will mean that you may not have a study hall next year unless you take something in the summer. So we'll talk about that momentarily. So let's look at the journalism class that's in the English department. That's obviously having to do with the history, structure, origins, and function of journalism in our modern society. We offer a wide variety of fine arts classes here, as you can see. These, again, if you have 300 on your course, anything that has a half credit will take the place of that 300, so it means you still have 7 credits on your schedule. You can take 2 of these, so if you were interested, you could take the visual design course and the computer graphics. The visual design class could replace the 300 that's on your course card, leaving you with the 7 credits that you have, and you could add the computer graphics as your half credit elective to get you to the 7.5 credits. Same thing with the any of the band classes. You could put jazz band in your class. Half that jazz band credit replaces the half credit from the 300 course, and the other half credit brings you to the half credit here to get you the 7.5 credits. So you can get to 7.5 credits with some of these fine art classes the way it is, either adding 1 of the full years or adding a combination of 2 of the half credits. Please be careful in picking your right courses. Make sure you read the descriptions and you see what interests you and how they will fit into your overall plan for high school. Couple of things to notice on, again, the jazz band, the percussion, the concert band, and the chorus classes are not marked with honors. That's done for a reason. If you want to continue to pursue band, percussion, chorus, or concert band, you will just select those courses, and Mr. Wojnicka or Mr. Glowinski will make the placements for honors at a later time. So if you want to pursue the honors level, that'll be a discussion you have with one of those teachers. In the math department, we offer a full year of an Introduction to Computer Science course. That will be a computer programming class that teaches you JavaScript and learning how to make websites. We offer a physical education substitution. Notice it says substitution. This course, this lifeguarding course, for which you need to know how to swim, will replace your existing 622 PE health classes on your course selection card. You cannot add this. You only have one PE class during the course of your sophomore year. So if you want to take lifeguarding, if you take lifeguarding, it just is a replacement for, it doesn't help get you to 7.5 credits. It still is part of the initial 7 credits that you've already picked. We're offering the robotics course next year, which is building the robot for the Robo Challenges and the Striker Challenge that takes place in the spring. And we're offering a brand new course next year in science called Forensic Science. That's learning about crime scene investigation as well as the legal aspects of criminal investigations and how do we know DNA evidence, fingerprinting, and all that information that goes into the legal system and our science areas. Okay, so in our social studies department, we're offering a marketing class, which is learning how to create advertisements and media messages for various products. We'll have Incubator next year, which is the course that you're creating the product to sell, like in a Shark Tank situation. And we're offering a brand new class called Entrepreneurship and Small Business Operations. It's a half-credit course. What that class will teach is how to organize a business, how to own a business, and how things like financing. So how do you get loans in order to create your company? How do you look at job skills for your employees? What customer service skills do you need to have in that sort of thing? And some basic human resources, so hiring and firing of employees. So it's going to be a great course if you're interested in looking at potentially owning a small business down the line one day. Our summer enrichment opportunities we've already gone through, so those are the listing of the courses as well as the dates, times, and schedules. For the above classes, all of these, you're allowed to miss 2 days of school per class, and that's it. We cannot double up weeks to accommodate any travel times, so if you're going to miss more than 2 days, it would be advisable not to register for a summer course. The last day of all the summer courses, so things like this June 20th, or the August 1st, those will be final exam dates, so don't plan on traveling on those days, otherwise you will miss the final exam. Teachers do not have to schedule final exams early to allow you to leave early on those weekends, those weeks. So now let's actually find out how we do the course selection. So now at this point in time, I'm a student who's logged into his portal account, and this is only through the student side. Parents do not have access to the course selection form. We want the students making the course selection sheets. So if a student has an issue with accessing his Plus portal account, please have him come and see me so we can reset that account. This will also only work through a browser. So this will only work through Safari or through Edge or through Internet Explorer. This won't work on the app. So you need to be able to access your Plus portal account using a regular computer or using Safari or Chrome or one of the other apps on your iPad. So when you log in, you're going to go to the link here that says Course Requests. Once you click on that, it's going to take you to the next page where you're going to find a document that says Sophomore Course Elective Sheet. Then you're going to click on the View Edit link. So now we're looking at the actual course selection sheet that's available online. They are grouped by departments. So we'll see the English and the Fine Arts departments here. The next one will have the Math and the Science and the Social Studies and Summer Electives. Couple of key things. You only need to select the courses for which you are really interested in taking. If you have no interest in taking journalism, you don't have to mark journalism. This is not pick something per box, it's pick the classes that you are interested in. So if journalism is something that you're interested in, you're going to check that off and that's one of your selections. If you're not interested in picking journalism, don't pick that and you just keep moving through the rest of the list. If you want to find out more about what the course is going to be teaching, click on the little gray circle here with the exclamation point in it, and it's going to open up a separate little window, and it's going to tell you a couple things. It's going to tell you The name of the class, again, what level the course is offered. So is it a Phoenix level course, a De La Salle level course, an honors level course? It'll tell you the course description, so make sure you read that so you understand what you're going to be taking, and it'll tell you any prerequisites. So for example, in journalism, you will need to get the approval of your current English teacher. So you might select the journalism class, then everyone who is interested in journalism, I'm going to send a list of the current English teachers, and they will make their recommendations for whether or not a student can really handle the rigors of the journalism class. If there are any questions with that, or any concerns with that the teachers have, they'll be contacting me, and then I'll be reaching out to those individual students. So that's your journalism. Here are your fine arts. Remember the fine arts, for those of you who have 300 on your schedule card, this is where you're looking to make your course selections. So the 300, again, is a made-up class. It doesn't really exist. So you need to pick something from this list in order to replace that 300. So if you picked computer graphics, which is a good course, they're all good courses, but you can pick computer graphics, that just simply takes that 300 off your course selection and puts 323 in its place, leaving you still with 7 credits on your course selection. So you still could pick another fine art credit. You could pick that in digital music, or you could pick that and journalism, or you could pick that and acting, and then you get to your 7.5 credits. You just need to remember to get to 7.5 credits by the time the schedule process is done. Again, each one of these has a little gray information circle. Click on those. Make sure that you understand the prerequisites. Some courses you need to take another class before you can take this. So for example, you cannot take Honors Computer Graphics 2 without having taken Honors Computer Graphics 1. You cannot just register for Digital Music 2 if you did not take Digital Music 1. So please be careful and make sure you're picking classes that make logical sense in the order in which you need to take them. Okay, looking at our math selections, here's your Introduction to Computer Science course. Here's our Science, Robotics, and Forensic Science courses. And here are our Social Studies classes, Marketing, Incubator, Entrepreneurship, Model UN. We didn't talk much about Model UN. Model UN is an extracurricular club in which you are assuming the role of a delegate to the United Nations conference. In doing that, that's a club that meets outside of school time typically. There are several conferences that are scheduled throughout the year. Sometimes you travel for those conferences. Because of that, there is an additional cost that needs to be added to your tuition. That is included in the information link there. You can also join the club without being part of the class. That's your choice, but if you do sign up for Model UN, know there's the associated cost with that. Again, the physical education is an alternative choice. So you already have 622 on your course selection cards. If you want to replace 622 with water safety instruction and lifeguarding, you can do so. But remember, you cannot take both. So it's not PE health and lifeguarding. This will take the place of this. So again, with your course selection pieces, you have 7 credits. Taking away the 622 keeps you still at 7 credits. It doesn't do anything with replacing those 7 credits to get you to 7.5 credits. The key thing that you need to be able to do is you need to be able to know how to swim, because in lifeguarding, you'll be practicing actually going into the pool and removing people from the pool in simulated situations in which you need to rescue them. So if you have difficulty in swimming, please don't sign up for lifeguarding. There will be a test that Mrs. Gibson will give. If you don't take the test in the given day, we won't be able to have you continue to be enrolled in the lifeguarding class, and we'll put you back in the regular 622 course. The last couple of pieces here on the electronic sheet are your summer school options. So again, here are the courses and the dates that they are offered. If you want to take one of those, you'll just mark it which ones you want to take down below. And make sure again that you're looking at the dates that they're scheduled. Remember, you can only miss 2 days. You cannot miss more than that. The costs for the classes are $225. Driver's education costs $85. For driver's ed, please be careful that you pick the right day that you want to sign up for. So do you want to pick the June time or the July time? Only pick one, don't pick both. These are on a first come, first served basis. So once we hit 25 students in the driver's education class, we do close that for the summer. Couple of key things here at the bottom. If you are marking things all along and you want to clear all the marks that you made, you can click the cancel button and that'll erase all the previous marks that you made on the sheet here. If you are looking at the sheet and you start to mark things off and you're like, well, I want to talk to them about marketing and I want to talk to somebody about the visual design class, you could do that and you'll click the save and revisit later, and that allows you to go back into the form to look at the form again and make any changes. The button you don't want to press until you're absolutely positively ready to make your course selections is the submit button. Once you press the submit button, any choices that you have made on any of these boxes and above are locked, and you cannot go back into the form to rechange it. So the submit form should be pressed only when you are done with your course selection process. You've picked the classes that you want to take, and you are sure that you have 7.5 credits for next year, and then you can press the submit button. Now let's say that you have pressed the submit button and you looked at something and you said, oh, I picked marketing, but in talking it over with my parents, I really want to look at taking the entrepreneurship class. That's fine. If you've done that, you've already submitted the form, the way that you would make that change from marketing to entrepreneurship is to send me an email saying, Mr. Perez, I'd like to change the marketing class to the entrepreneurship class. At that point in time, with the email, I'll go in and make the change on the master sheet. Don't do it when you're in the course of seeing me in the halls. You could mention it to me, but it's difficult to remember everything that's coming at me during the course of the day with course selections. So shoot me an email. That way we have it for a record that you made that change, and we can go forward from there. Last couple of points here is we do offer some classes in the summer and during the school year through our distance learning partnership with the Virtual Academy in the Archdiocese of Chicago. So it's an online program that you can start taking in the summer and that you could take throughout the school year. These are the instructions for it, so I'll let you read that at your leisure. So most of the classes that you're going to see are AP level courses. AP stands for Advanced Placement. What that is at the end of the school year, you will take a test that's set up by the College Board. It's a test that every student across the United States takes in an AP class, and depending upon your score, you may or may not earn college credit. Typically, you need to earn a 4 for an AP credit out of 5. Some schools will reward credit on a basis of a 3. If you are doing those AP courses, the AP test is part of it. So we offer AP US History. We also offer AP Environmental Science, AP European History, and AP World History through the Virtual Academy. So those are the courses that we offer at the AP level. We also offer a game design class at the De La Salle level that you could take if you were pursuing that. Again, the instructions for registering for the Virtual Academy classes are found there. If you have any further questions, please come and see me in the office. Okay, so just some final reminders, final recaps on this course selection process. So you need to have 7.5 credits as a sophomore. Again, you will probably have 7 credits on your course selection sheet, which means you need to find a half credit elective to get you to that magic 7.5 credits. You can have 8 credits available, but again, there's no study hall unless you take something in the summer. You can have 8.5 credits if you take something in the summer and you also give up your study halls. So that's up to you and how you want to schedule it. If you have questions beyond the 7.5 credits to the 8.5 credits, come and see me. What will start happening over the coming days is you'll hear in the morning announcements when I'll be in the library. So I will be in the library during different lunch periods for you to come up and ask any questions if you have any difficulties accessing the form or using the form or picking classes. Your counselors will also be taking turns up in the library. So if you have questions, you can come and see your counselors. And the Fine Arts Department will also be up in the library answering questions about the best fine arts that you might want to take for next year. So that will start taking place starting Wednesday up in the library with the course selections. Again, if you have that 300 on your course selection card, please be sure to pick that fine art from your list. If you have 318, you don't need to worry about picking a different fine art course unless, of course, you want to take the 2321, the Arts and Ideas over the summer as your summer enrichment class to free up a study hall or a resource period for the school year. If that's the case, come and see me and we'll walk through that process. Make sure you look at the prerequisites for the courses, because if you don't meet the prerequisites, you will not be scheduled for that class. We do ask that this course selection process be completed by a week from Thursday. It's March 21st. Please check your email regularly, which means daily, because if I have any questions or problems with your course selections, I'm going to be emailing you as a student to say, hi, I have a question about this. Come on and talk downstairs and talk to me, or come up to the library and talk to me. And again, if you have any questions, please see your counselor or me at any point in time. So good luck with this process. It is a little bit of a new thing for you, and we understand that it could be a little scary, a little intimidating, but know again that your counselors, your teachers, and I are here to help you all through this process. So again, if you have any questions or concerns, comments, difficulties, please see one of us at any time. And that key date again is that March 21st. So I'm going to let you go. Good luck with your scheduling process, and we'll see you in sophomore year.